In 1775, King George and his colonizers began trying to confiscate weapons from the locals. Look, I'm on third base. I'm almost home. Which means I'm about to score a point. We viewed the British as tyrannical because our self-defense seemed as a natural right to us Americans, and we wanted to protect ourselves from tyranny or tyranny, potato. Later, this would be instilled in our Constitution. It would be the First Amendment. We were able to overthrow the world's largest military and naval might with one thing, and one thing only: the firearm, the personal, privately held firearm. Now, owning firearms acted as a deterrent. It gave us freedom from entities that had corrupted power and had too much power, whether it be public, private, or government. That's what the firearm enabled Americans to do. Wow. Yes. I'm going to put my monologue down for a second on our First Amendment right here in the U.S. I want to show you what I just stumbled upon. Look at that. How do you like them apples? January, in the cold winter, yet it is sunny and mossy. Pretty amazing, pretty meaningful, pretty insightful nature is. The American Revolution began with guns being confiscated by King George in 1775. Yes, King George was the colonizer, and he began to confiscate guns from the local population. And up here we have an aerial route. Look at this. This is, I don't know if it's a kazoo route, but this is a total 100% aerial route. Wow. Didn't know they had these in South Carolina. It's just one branch going all the way up, and it's strangling the top of the tree, hanging the tree essentially. Wow. Look at that. Now, I grew up in Austria, in a town called Stockerau, which means, translated into English, means stump in the woods. Austria is the home of the Glock 9mm and also the famous Austrian painter who was charismatic. Around the end of 2016, 2015, and prior to those dates too, the Obama administration drone striked Syria, sending about 10,000 refugees up into Austria. These refugees, parents and uncles, were dead, and all they knew was war. In Stockerau, where I grew up, after this time, a lot of things occurred. Currently, ask a Central or Western European how they're doing and how their status is compared to how it was 10 to 15 years ago, and they'll tell you point blank. There are Facebook and community groups in the local town I grew up in, by the train station, that report knifings and stabbings and lootings. Now, as an American expat having grown up overseas, this makes me rethink things, specifically my Second Amendment right. And it also makes me thankful that I have that, because that simply wouldn't happen here. And apparently it's happening at higher volumes because those countries are completely deweaponized. The US deweaponized them after World War II. And all those governments have no way of defending themselves. Or should I say, those people. Now, it makes me rethink what the Second Amendment means to me as an American expat who had grown up overseas. A lot of things shifted and changed in the last 10 to 15 years. A lot of people on my baseball team used to make fun of me and call me, that John Wayne, haha. They would make fun because of America and its history with guns. But now, currently, Europe is in a predicament due to socio-political and warlike occurrences, if you will. Now, they're facing violence, and they have no way of stopping it. Makes me thankful to be an American. Looks like someone was making a cabin. They were starting a log cabin. Just trying to lay logs on top of each other, or maybe having a stowage area for wood in the winter of some sort. Something like that. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. What are you gonna do about it? Get yourself a pizza. You put the pizza in your mouth. Yeah, that's right. Taste the pizza inside your mouth. In South Africa, there are 72 murders a day. That makes South Side Chicago look like a kindergarten. Now, I recently flew from South Africa to Salt Lake City. It was the longest flights I've ever had in my life. I was traveling over 2 days. Now, I used to make fun of the Mormons for many various purposes and reasons, but today I changed my tune. I went from one of the most dangerous places in the world to one of the most safest. And now, as I get older, there's one thing I'm starting to value more, and that's safety. Kind of important for survival. So when I did those travels and finished my travels, at that point I realized, you know what? What's the secret? What's the secret, dear Mormons? Dear Mormon? Mormonen? What is the secret? And the secret is the Mormons are packing heat. They got their First and their Second Amendment locked in. And the other thing, too, that packing heat allows you to do, it also protects your ability to speak freely. And also worship. Your ability to worship correlates and corresponds with your ability to speak freely. Interesting. Interesting how the Founding Fathers had it all figured out. Quite brilliant, quite amazing, quite foolproof. Now let's go play some basketball. Oh my goodness, I'm good. Whew. Being athletic is something else. It just is something else. It's always a natural at basketball. Oh, that was my sport. Just kidding. It was not. seeds of a sweet gum tree. This here must be a sweet gum. Probably a North American sweet gum. There it is. Sweet gum tree. Ain't that something? Do 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 Batman. Do 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 Batman, Batman. We've got Batman thermos. Little thermos backpack. Little small kid's backpack. Batman. The cops in Austria, specifically in Lower Austria where I grew up, are called a gendarmerie in French. And the French share a same linguistic pattern with certain dialects of Austrian. Some of the words are borrowed, since they're considered cousins, close cousins. I know we're in the South, and the jokes may go towards kissing cousins, but we're going to keep it appropriate for YouTube. So, with that whole thing being said, the cops here in the US are militarized, and they are packing heat just like the Mormons. And in Europe, a baton is not going to do much. It's not going to do much to someone who has experienced explosions and drone strikes upon their family and knows nothing but war. So a baton, it just doesn't work. And that is currently the problem. One aspect of many problems that is happening in Europe. Now, I don't recommend the entire EU and Europe go full on AR-15 and Rambo. That's something for us Americans, because we know how to control it. We understand gun safety and we understand our Second Amendment. But for Europe now, I think certain things have to happen in order for Europe to become safe again, because it used to be so safe. Back in the 90s when I grew up there, it was way safer than lots of places in the US. How has that changed now? I don't understand. There's nothing progressive, forward-thinking, or liberal about what is happening in Europe right now. And I hope they figure it out, because here, we have it figured out. At least for now. Since we are in a quantum universe, and there's a lot of things that, factors that don't work out, and there's a lot of erratum. And erratum is just, sporadic things that might just go wrong and awry. But I try not to focus on that. I try to focus on the good of what nation states have and what makes nation states strong and good. And in the US, it is the Second Amendment coinciding with the First Amendment. They work in cohort, and they honestly make this place what it is. And yeah, I don't know what's going to happen in Europe, but best of luck to them. And it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. It's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Yeah, at the old ball game.
emphasis on ball.